human nature, there has to, some sort of animosity has to build up. Okay, the Arnold Classic is almost over. I'm just waiting now for the confirmation round and the placings for the open division. The way it looks now, Derek Lunsford has a very good chance of pulling off a win over here. Much improved from the Olympia, big difference. Now, 2 days ago in an interview, Derek was doing with, it was RX Muscle, and he sat down, and one of the things that were asked of him, what went wrong with the prep for the Olympia, where he not only lost the title to Samson, he dropped out to third, falling behind Hany. And what's the difference between the prep then and his prep now with Chris Aceto? He's no longer with Hany Rambod, who brought him to both the 212 title and the Open title. He's with Chris Aceto. Now, Derek brought up that going into the show during the prep, they try different things, new things, and looking back in hindsight, he said they were big mistakes. Now, the way he was saying it, it sounded like he wasn't all that keen on what they were going to do. But being that Hany's his coach, trusted him, he followed his directions, and things didn't work out all too well. Now, he also said that since he started working with Chris for the prep of this show, almost daily there were changes. He just raved about how terrific the prep went with Chris, and it didn't go all too well with Hany. Looking at the package that Derek brought to the stage for this Arnold, it looked like things were working well. Now, there's also a rumor out now that Derek is no longer with Evogen Nutrition. He's not sponsored by Evogen. Now, if those of you who don't know, Evogen is Hany Rambod's company. Now, I mean, there hasn't been anything openly said, but you have to wonder whether there are some problems, maybe a little tension between the two of them. I'm gonna go back to what I've said in a couple of different videos in the past. When a coach has too many clients, when you're working with athletes at the highest level, competing for the highest honors in bodybuilding, when you got a prep coach working with two of the top athletes, Hany wins the Olympia one year, Derek wins the Olympia the following year. You got 1 and 2 over here. When you're not only prepping more than one person in a show, it's the biggest show in bodybuilding, and you have the two top names that are going against each other. Human nature, there has to, some sort of animosity has to build up inside, even if you're not showing it outwardly. It's just human nature. And I'm wondering if all that's starting to come into play. If Hany did drop Derek as a sponsor, as being Derek's sponsor. I also brought up previously there are numerous times when Hany, and Derek were in the gym together training. Now, Hany doesn't speak a lick of English. Hany, they're both Iranian. They speak Farsi. Well, Hany obviously speaks English, but he speaks fluent Farsi. Now, and I said it back then, that had to cause some sort of animosity inside, even if you're not showing it outwardly. It's human nature. Here you are in the gym, your coach is training your number one adversary, and in communication back and forth, you have no idea what Hany and Hany are saying to each other. You have to have some doubts in the back of your mind. Like I said, it's just human nature. Maybe I'm blowing everything out of proportion, but it did sound in the interview like Derek was throwing the blame more towards Hany than anything else. It's rumored now that Derek is no longer sponsored by Imogen Nutrition, Hany's company. I'm wondering if there is some tension between the two of them. No one has outwardly said anything of that nature, but you can't help but wonder. Getting back quickly to the Arnold before I sign off, it's a very competitive show. I think at least 5 of my top six picks are going to be in the top 6, and there's a good chance that my pick that not in there at the moment might end up moving into one of those positions. We got to wait for the show to end. If you agree with or disagree with anything I've said, let me know in the comments section. This is Michael Diamond. I'd like to thank you for watching Muscle Central.